JB. So I think we can close the round of Q&A. There's a last question from Josiah Chavula. I don't know, Michael, if you want to answer that live or you want to type the answer.
Yeah, I was just starting to type. I can see that we're on the time, so I'll type it in.
All right. Thank you. So now let me pass it to Kyle for a recap, and then we move on with the other points in the agenda today. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Emrich, and everyone else. So today we heard a good report, or a summary of the report that Michael Kende put together about the 80/20 by 2020 project and goal that we had as a community, and about the growth that we saw, and also some of the gaps that remain. And we had a good discussion about where we should aim for, what we should aim for going forward. So one of the key things that came up, well, there were a couple of things that came up. There are some internet exchanges that are really keen to get CDNs connected and peering through the exchange rather than doing PNIs. More connected networks was one of the key takeaways from Michael's talk through his analysis. And the data seems to bear this out. Having more connected networks to your exchange increases the gravity and has a determining factor on other key metrics of success, whether that's traffic growth or financial sustainability or whatever. All these can benefit from having more connected networks. And as a group, we agreed that could be a good target to look at going forward. I mean, we still need to have more discussion around it and find a way to encapsulate it into some kind of targets that are specific and measurable, and ideally with some kind of catchy slogan. But it was a great start to the discussion. And we talked a little bit about how to achieve getting more networks to the exchange. And in some cases, people felt that bringing their community together would help get more of their country's existing ASNs connected to their IXP. There's, of course, a need for more enabling policy and other initiatives to promote competition and cross-border access to IXPs. There's a need to promote the development of non-traditional networks. So, for example, enterprise networks, and in some cases, academic networks or government networks, and in order to boost the number of available networks in the country that can connect. Sharing CDNs across the exchange where they already exist on net for some operators can help attract more networks, for example, in the case of Rwanda. And of course, in all of this, there's a need to measure this. So we'll have to think about what to measure and also how to help internet exchanges actually start measuring that so that we can benchmark ourselves and then in the future measure it going forward. So I think this is a great start to the discussion. I think all of us look forward to continuing it in other venues, and hopefully at some point soon we can formalize it and start getting to work. But with that, I'd like to close up, or at least begin to close up. There's a couple remaining items to deal with in particular. In particular, we have to introduce the new AFPIF PC members. There's some peering personals, and then we're going to head over to a virtual social in Gather Town. But before that, I'd like to thank our series sponsors. That's NAP Africa. In particular, I'd like to thank Michelle, Carla, and Andrew. Facebook, we'd like to thank Ben and Andrew, and Darwin from DKIX. The PAX Data Center, Wouter has been a big supporter of this organization. Main One is also a series sponsor. We'd like to thank Julian, and Brett and Rusi from Microsoft. We're very grateful to all of you. We'd also like to thank the simultaneous interpretation sponsor, that's Flex Optics. A big thanks to Fergus, Portia, Renee, and Marcus. And of course, we'd like to thank all the speakers, organizers, including the Secretariat and the support team from ISOC and others that are helping us with this live stream and the captions, the translation team, and of course, the audience. Our next session doesn't have a topic yet, but we'll share more information about that soon. We do know the date, though. It will be on the first Tuesday of February 2021. So mark that in your calendar, and we'll share more information soon. And with that, I'd like to hand over to Fergus to introduce our new program committee. So Fergus, over to you.
Thank you, Carl. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Good. Just small correction, the next meeting is going to be first Tuesday in February 2022, not 2021. Just hello, everyone. My name's Fergus Mackay. Could you share the slides, please, Sanook? Thank you. I'm the co-chair of the program committee. We've had 3 co-chairs this year, but the other 2 co-chairs have stepped down now in preparation for their retirement. I'd like to welcome Josiah, Rebecca, Michelle, Jacob, Yolandi, and JB to the program committee. We look forward to working with you for the next couple of years. It will be a bit different from the last year where we've just been doing virtual meetings. We will be doing virtual meetings and hopefully a real in-person meeting as in the old style. Could we get the next slide? And we're losing 5 members. Hisham and Andrew have been PC members, I think, since the beginning and have been my co-chairs for this year. And they were previously co-chairs along with Nishal before this year. They'll be missed, but I think they deserve a break. It's been quite a long haul for them. Frank, I think, has been around for as long as they have. He's been a very helpful voice in the background. And Simon and Mamatokane, I hope I pronounced that right, are stepping down at the end of their terms. Much appreciate all the help you've provided and all the support over the year. So enough from me. I'll hand you over to Mishiki unless anyone has any questions about the new members. So I'm not seeing any. No, sorry, this is the current PC. So we're 20 people. And we will be looking for the 2023 intake sometime in October, November next year, if you're interested in joining us. Thank you. Mishuki.
Thanks, Vegas, and congratulations to the new PC members. Certainly looking forward to working with you all. So next up is the virtual peering personals. So I will share my screen, and the first person up should be, so I'll put up, should be, I think, Portia for inks. So let me just share my screen, 1 second. Okay, and Portia, you can go.
Thanks, Michiki. Good afternoon and good morning to everybody. My name is Portia Rabonda. I'm from Flex Optics, but right now I'm wearing my IXZA Management Committee hat. I'm the Vice Chair of the IXZA Management Committee, and IXZA operates 100% community-run internet exchange points in South Africa. We're in Cape Town, Durban, and Johannesburg, being Sinks, Dinks, and Jinx respectively. This is our 25th year of operation, which makes us the oldest IX on the African continent. And we're proud that in its 25 years of operation, Jinx has had no downtime outside of plain maintenance. We're strong believers that peering should be owned, run, and managed by community. Our management community is thus made up of volunteers that donate their time in making sure that INX continues to service a community need. Each of our exchanges are data center agnostic. In each city, we're available in multiple locations, so you have freedom of choice in how and where you decide to peer. Neutrality and openness are 2 of our core values. We'd love to see you peer at our exchanges. Please feel free to contact me to ask any additional questions or contact our team at ops@inks.net.za. Thank you.
Thank you, Portia. Next up is civics. We have Kofi. Kofi Armand, you can speak.
Bonjour. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? So I represent the IXP of the Ivory Coast, set up in 2013. Since 2019, we have created COCIVIX, a consultative committee for internet. And this committee aims at an inclusive, cohesive approach. Today, we have 10 networks connected to IXP, and we are an open IXP, available and open to whoever's interested in contacting the Ivory Coast IXP. So you have my contact details on the screen. Use infos@civics.ci or to contact me directly. You have my personal email address.
That's JB.
I think Ouattara will lead, I think, but Ouattara, are you there? So, okay, let me go. So, BFIX is the exchange page of Burkina Faso, ASN 37716. We have 2 POP, one in Ouagadougou and the other one in Bobo-Dioulasso. And our policy is open and selective from some members, but it's in general open. And if you need to join us in Ouagadougou, so feel free to contact us by appearing at bafix.bf. So thank you.
Thank you, JB. Ouattara had mentioned that he will do the speaking, so that's why I called on you. All right, that brings us to an end of the last virtual peering personals for this year. And we certainly look forward to seeing more of you doing the peering personals online at the next event next year. So next up, no, we've pretty much run out of time, is the virtual social. And I will not spend time walking you through what we need to do when we get to GatherTown, but we all know what, if at least you've been there before, you know what to do. If it's your first time, it will walk you through the steps. You need to use a browser, either Firefox or Chrome. It doesn't work well with Safari. And we look forward to